Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Clark and Dr. Clark's interns. This is the second episode of the dogs on the couch with the dogs board, I might add, and this is part two of our special interview with a magnificent local businesswoman, Mrs. Kenyonn Demps. Uh, Mrs. Demps, if you've listened to part one, you know that she has many ventures from personal fitness to elderly care to pageantry and everything above. So I will let Mrs. Demps interview herself. Not interview, introduce herself.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the invitation back, and I'm really excited about Series 2. And just a little bit about me. I have been working in the senior citizen industry for as long as I can remember. It actually started in middle school, which is a long time ago. And we always had an opportunity to choose like volunteer work. So middle school, high school, I always chose working with seniors. It was kind of a natural fit. So I've kind of, I guess, built it upon that. And I am currently the executive director at a nursing home. It's 120 beds. Been doing this, gosh, a little over 20 years now. I totally love it. And in my spare time, I also direct and run a pageant for senior women age 50 to 59, and then we have a second pageant, 60 and up. It's the Miss Senior Jacksonville and the Miss Senior Diva pageant. And then when I have a little free time, I do vision boarding and do Zumba Gold for seniors. So that's a little snapshot of what I do in the senior industry.
Awesome.
Yes, yes, ma'am. Thank you for introducing that aspect of yourself to everyone. So, if you don't mind, we are going to start with the questions. And Derek, the hip hop historian, you are up first.
All righty, Mrs. Demps. All righty. So I want to know, could you give us a description on how you decided to embark on the venture of elderly care?
Well, absolutely. As I mentioned in my introduction, it was something that kind of fell upon me because I connected very well with seniors. A lot of times people will say, well, I love kids, and for me it just happened to be seniors and I just kind of meshed together, whether I was at a park or at a grocery store or at a meeting with my parents from middle school on up. It's always like that senior would ask me for help or some type of guidance, or I was sitting next to them and we would end up talking. And so that was the beginning. But when I branched away from my parents and went off to college, I was looking at being a social worker. And I did graduate with my first degree in social services. And my first position was in a nursing home, and really liked that. Prior to that, we had to choose an internship, and I did the process of elimination. I knew I couldn't do mental health because I'm way too scary. And I did try it, but it just did not work out. I was always looking over my back and I was making myself as crazy as they were. I tried to do kids, but that just did not think well. The passion and the drive wasn't there. And then one day, one of my mentors introduced me to coming to his nursing home and doing some volunteer work, and it was a great fit. I liked it. I liked talking to the seniors. It was a good fit. Love what I do. So it's a hard job, a very deserving position. It's a position that people don't always see, or you don't wake up and say, I'm going to be a nursing home administrator. Yeah. Like, you don't do that. So you definitely have to love it and have someone open the door for you to even acknowledge what it is.
Awesome.
That's
Awesome.
something.
Like, did you ever know that there was a such thing as a nursing home administrator?
Um, I heard of it before, but I never knew what it was exactly. What about you,
Right.
Derek?
I never heard of that specific position. I've heard of director but I've never heard of administrator. No.
Yeah, and you can go to school to become a nursing home administrator. And it's a specialized field. We have to go and become licensed, take a board test that pretty much kicks your butt to take, but you take it, and you are, or I am, responsible for every facet of the nursing home, from the business office to the care to the regulations, from A through Z. So it can be complex. You just have to really trust the people up under you, and you just really need to know the regulations. So I like it.
Awesome. It's good to know. It's passion directed behind the work that you do.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'll go next with my question. Uh, so what would you say was your most rewarding moment in elderly care thus far?
Well, I'm going to stick, I have my hands in a lot of senior citizen related things. So I'm going to stick for this interview, make it more so aligned the nursing home aspect. For the nursing homes, I think the most rewarding part has been having someone come into the center that's not able to do for themselves. They're not able to walk, or maybe they come in and they have a trach where they're not able to speak, or maybe they're just totally out of it. And I have about 3 residents currently that have been in this position, and the rewarding part of it, because those characteristics don't sound exciting, but the most rewarding part is when you look 1 year later and you see that we have helped that resident get back on their feet and they're able to take steps, or they go from being totally bedridden to being in the wheelchair, from being in the wheelchair to now taking a few steps, from now taking a few steps to taking more steps, and they're able to go outside on their own, where they no longer have that trach and they're able to open their eyes and they're not delusional and hallucinating anymore. So that is very rewarding, because a lot of times people see or they hear the word nursing home and they cringe, like, I don't want to be there, I don't want to go there. And they have this negative thought about what a nursing home is. But the rewarding piece is being able to provide the therapy and the care and services that a resident needs in a way that they can actually say bye to the nursing home. So I find that very, very rewarding.
Well, because it's always nice to hear a positive thing, because nursing homes at times can get a bad public perception from people, because there can be cases that comes out about abuse or misallocation of funds, et cetera, et cetera. So it's always nice to hear about the more positive side. What you were saying, Derek?
Sorry, even when you look in like TV, for example, TV doesn't exactly portray, the nursing home as the most desirable place to be.
Right. And I totally agree with you about that. I mean, nobody wants to go there. You don't wake up and say, oh, I'm going to the nursing home today. No one does that. It's a place that has gotten so much negativity that that's all people know. And so when I tell someone I'm a nursing home administrator, there's crickets, because they don't know what to say. They don't know if it's good. They don't know if it's bad. They don't know what to do with me. They don't know. And you're exactly right. What people know is it's a bad place to be. If I go, I'm going to be abused. If I go, people are going to steal from me. And what people don't know is there's so many regulations that attempt to prevent it and lessen it. And if you are in a nursing home, or you suspect fraud or neglect or abuse, there are so many phone numbers and resources out there to get help against the nursing home. You can call someone to come in and investigate it on your behalf, and it can be anonymous. And I think one of the things for me has been just educating people about nursing homes and assisted living and home health. We don't know the resources that are out there. And a lot of people, when they have to place mom, dad, or another loved one, or even their child, their 20-year-old child, I have 20-year-olds in the nursing home. But people don't know the questions to ask or the resources that are available for them to find the nursing home that fits them. Because by the time you get to a nursing home, you're overwhelmed. You don't know how you're going to pay for it. You don't know anyone there. You don't know if you need to live there with your mom, your dad. You just don't know. So that's really been my mission of trying to explain to people what nursing homes do, the type of care that they provide, what they don't do, and how you pay for it.
Yes.
There's
Yes,
a lot,
ma'am.
isn't it?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for trying to, I would say, put a positive light on it. Uh, but
Yeah.
On to the next question from Vanessa, Miss Chang, who couldn't be here. Have you ever had to deal with lonely or depressed clients before?
Oh, absolutely. Uh, if you think about it, nobody wants to come, right? So you're going to be depressed. Nobody want to be there. So that is, whether it's loneliness or depression, that is a common characteristic in the nursing home environment. You will find that sons, daughters, loved ones drop mom or dad or whomever off, and once they get comfortable, they may not come as much. So that's a reason to be depressed and lonely. Or you may realize as a resident that it used to be me who was cooking Christmas dinner or Thanksgiving dinner. I used to be there. You used to come to my house and want my sweet potato pie. And now, my son and my daughter can no longer make time to come and pick me up because maybe my wheelchair is too heavy, or maybe their car is too small, or maybe they live 5 hours away and they cannot afford to come and get me. So depression and loneliness is not uncommon. Now, by law, the nursing home has to provide X amount of activities during the day, on the weekends, and after hours. You'll also find that nursing homes have specialized activity personnel that has an activity calendar for different levels of residents. And when I say different levels, I'm saying that if you have a resident that is alert, they're oriented, they're able to dance and do their thing, then they're easy to provide activities for. But if you have a resident that is confined to his or her room and they're wheelchair bound and maybe they're antisocial, it's going to be a lot harder to provide an activity for them. But by law, the nursing home should be doing something with them, encouraging them to come out of their room, encouraging others to go and visit with them, making their roommate compatible with them, finding out what type of activities they like, and bringing that activity to them. Worst case, if after they attempt to get situated in the nursing home, you provide the activities and the activities don't work or have no effect, then the last resort is typically some type of medication to help lighten their mood. Or they could always see a psychiatrist or a psychologist. So those are worst case things, and it just depends on the person, and it depends on their prior level of function. For example, if you have someone that's always been antisocial, they like being by themselves, they've always been mean, then you're not going to change. You're not going to do a lot of change because that is who that person is. But if you have someone that's been the life of the party, they typically have been happy, and then they get admitted to the nursing home, and you see a big change. So in that case, you're going to assess them clinically. If everything comes back rah-rah, then you're going to start looking at what type of activities would make them happy. What would help them get situated and satisfied in the center? What would keep them from being unlonely? And then once you know the root cause of their depression or their loneliness, then the nursing home should address it from that angle.
Okay.
More than you want to know, huh?
Yes, but thank you for clearing that up for people who may not know. Thank you for clearing that up. Well,
you know what? It's so much, right? It's so much, because there's some things you just don't think about, right?
Right.
What people know is I can no longer take care of my mom. I can no longer take care of my dad. So, bummer. I need them to go to a nursing home. Why? Because I work full time. I can't stop my job and not pay my bills. But mom or dad still needs care. So that's how nursing homes come in play. People typically don't want to go to them, but they have to go to them to get the care that they need. And if people took time to read their surveys, every nursing home has a survey. It has to be either in the lobby, somewhere prominent where people can just walk in and read. You can read the survey. It'll tell you that every nursing home has issues. But the survey will tell you what type of issues they've had, whether it's been care issues, whether it's been social worker issues, food issues. It will tell you that. It will also tell you whether it's been isolated, like 1 or 2 people out of 100 people, or if it's widespread, meaning 80 out of 100 people. So if there's one piece of information that I want to leave is that there are resources available for you to learn and understand nursing home care. And then there's a survey or an inspection that nursing homes have annually. It's unannounced. And that will help whoever is looking for a nursing home see what the prior inspection outcomes were.
Yes,
Knowledge is
ma'am.
power.
Thank you. It is. Knowledge is power. And we all must gain more power. But no, Derek, you have a question next.
I do have a question. So my question is this next question is actually 2 questions in one. So I would like to know, like, what advice would you give to younger people concerning interactions with the elderly, and in general, what is the most important aspect of interactions with other people in nursing homes that you think other
I think
people in general should know?
I think the most important interaction is, one, to show empathy and care, and to be non-judgmental. When you're non-judgmental, then you're willing to learn and you're willing to interact with the other person. Sometimes it appears as though younger people don't understand older people, and they don't realize that every second of their day, they're aging. And that one day they will be there sooner than they expect. So if there's one interaction, it would be just to care and just to interact, just to talk. There's so much wisdom that seniors have to share, but they're not going to share it, or sometimes they don't share it unless they are asked. Why? Because they don't believe that they are valued. They don't believe that they have a place. Their time has passed. Now it's time for the young people to get up and do. But if we are able to come together, we'll be so much more powerful. And we'll be less judgmental. And we would care.
Yes, ma'am. I agree with that. When there are generational, I would say differences, it becomes harder to make a bridge, between the two generations. You may, like you said, the younger people don't understand the older people, and vice versa, and it's just without a bridge, there, like you said, it becomes judgmental. And I know we all may have been in situations like that where because someone doesn't have a certain level of empathy on either side, things get lost in translation.
Correct.
Yes, ma'am. But we have a final question from Mr. Hunter Graham, who also couldn't be with us today. Um, what are the most important aspects in a nursing home to be comfortable for the elderly?
To be comfortable?
Yes, ma'am.
To be comfortable, if you go back to why would someone be admitted? They're admitted because they need the care. And so my response would be the most comfortable thing is safety and knowing that you are in good hands. Because when you know that you are in good hands and that someone's going to take care of your clinical needs, your financial needs, and your basic needs, food, water, shelter, then it makes you comfortable. Because you got to have the basic needs, and you have to make sure you have the financial part. So that makes most people comfortable. So seniors living in a nursing home, they're no different. And I think people in nursing homes want to know that someone values them, someone has their best interests, and that they're going to be taken care of. Now, that doesn't make them want to be there more because they have to be there. But it definitely adds peace of mind when you don't have to worry about how your $10,000 plus monthly bill is going to be taken care of, or how you're going to eat, or whether or not you're going to get your medications that day. Those three things add comfort.
Yes, ma'am. Well, thank you for stating that, because like we've already stated before in this interview, it can be an uncomfortable situation, especially mentally, for
Right.
for the elderly who live there. So you have to do, even though they still have to be there, you still have to put things in place for them to find at least more tolerable.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
and you know what? Everyone should really just visit one because they're not as bad as what they sound, right? So a lot of nursing homes now they're jamming. They have things going on like a cruise ship. I know it's hard to believe because you hear the word nursing home, but it's so very true. They have parties, they have dances. With regulations, even with intimacy, nursing homes have to provide space and privacy if two residents decide to get with each other. So life doesn't have to end. And for a lot of them, it doesn't end. Yeah,
in a
they go on
way,
outings every week, and people would say, well, they just play bingo. That is not true. That is not true. They do a lot of different things these days and go to a lot of different places. So I would suggest that people go and visit one, volunteer. And volunteer doesn't have to be, 20, 30, 100 hours. You can volunteer for a week, a couple of hours a day. And I would bet that your heart starts to open up more, and you will realize, gosh, they need you just as much as you need them.
Mhm. Yes, ma'am. Because in a way, it's like it sounds like it's a way for them to almost rediscover themselves.
Hmm.
It sounds like that. But now that we're finished with that sort of news, please tell us about the successful Miss Senior Jacksonville pageant that has happened recently during the summer, because I heard it
Oh
was a
my
smashing
goodness.
success.
It was a smashing success. We had 15 contestants, and oh my goodness, they were wonderful to work with. I mean, wonderful to work with. And I'm not just saying that, but wonderful group of women. We were able to reel in 533 people just in the audience. And that does not include like judges, our vendors, the contestants, the pageant team. It was such a good showing. And oh my gosh, the ladies came out with pumped up energy. The opening number song was the Cupid Shuffle. We opened up the doors. The ladies looked beautiful. And just think, when you turn the Cupid Shuffle on, everybody is ready to jam. The contestants jammed from the back door all the way up to the stage. The audience was all pumped up and involved. It was a huge, huge success. Huge success. From beginning to end, very vibrant group of ladies, very vibrant and energized audience. The contestants entertained. The entertainment was good. And the pageant was long, right? Because it was 15 ladies. But I don't think anyone felt like, oh, bummer, I need to go. This is not what I expected. Because, again, you hear senior pageant, right? And you think, oh, what in the world is this going to be about? But, oh, no, this is not the senior pageant, with frail people. These ladies are active seniors, and they really dispel the myth of aging, like they really did. So I'm excited about them. We have two new winners. Darby Mueller is our Miss Senior Diva between the age of 50 and 59. And we have Kim St. Clair Seals, who is our Miss Senior Jacksonville. And Kim's platform is all about women taking care of their hearts and heart disease and just bringing awareness to that. And Darby's platform is the Alzheimer's Association, and just bringing awareness to Alzheimer's. So they have a pretty robust reign where they are going throughout the city, bringing lots of awareness, and I'm pretty excited to be working with them.
Yes, ma'am. That's good. That's good, because I know because I've had a few people who listened to the last part of our interview, and they wanted to know how things went, and so where would they be able to find information concerning the next event or updates or things of that sort?
Well, they can follow me on Facebook under A Season Affair. And they can also follow the website. The website is aseasonedaffair.com. So even for the 2019 pageant, we have women that have already called, and they do not want to miss next year. So we have women that have already enrolled in the pageant for next year, which is simply amazing. I think one of the successes for this year, I mean, not only the number of contestants and the number in the audience that came out to support, but one of our goals has always been for the women to stay together, to build friendships, to be among like-minded women. And gosh, we did it this year. We did it. Now, a lot of times, because it is a competition, you make it known that there's only one winner, right? But there's always somebody who's like, I should have won, and they're pouting, right? This year, these women walked away feeling vested, feeling like they have been on a good journey that allowed them to be themselves, and that especially gave them permission to, I guess, feel reinvented or be reinvented. So I'm excited about it. It was good to see. It was good to see the camaraderie. And we've had women that have been in and out of the hospital since the pageant, and just the amount of support towards those women that have been sick has been amazing. So for me, it's more than a pageant, because if we can connect women to women, great. If we can teach women how to journal, which we did, and they can feel healed from internally to externally, then mission accomplished. If we can help women feel more confident in who they are, check, mission accomplished. So to me, it's more than just a pageant. So I'm excited about years to come. We are getting ready to branch out for Miss Senior Tampa in April, May of next year. And then we're going to we're walking on faith and tackling Miss Senior Atlanta next fall.
Wow.
That's what I said.
Yeah, that's a big market there.
Yeah, so we're excited about those two things. It's going to require some work and extra hands, but I believe we can pull it off. And I think because our heart and mind are in the right place for it, it's going to work.
Yes, ma'am. Well, even though I wasn't able to make the last event, because I think I went to the year last or the year before last. I'm from different pictures and different reactions from those. Uh, I can tell everyone enjoyed themselves and everyone performed to the best of their ability.
Yes, it was really good. A surprising, like, wow. Yeah, and it was our 10th year anniversary, so we really tried to keep things upbeat and to speak to the ladies that it was bigger than a pageant. So I think the mission was accomplished, and we're moving forward to planning the 2019 Miss Senior Diva and Miss Senior Jacksonville pageant.
Yes, ma'am,
Awesome.
and I am excited about it. But before we leave, Derek, was there anything else you had to say or ask?
Well, as a usual question, I usually do. Uh, are there any questions that you have for us, or any last comments that you think are that you want to leave that are important?
Well, the only thing is, if there's someone out there that wants to learn more about nursing homes, how they work, how people pay for them, how to research them, or just general questions about a nursing home, I am available. They can reach me through Facebook, or they can send an email or shoot me a text message or give me a call, because it's important to understand nursing homes before placing someone in one. And then if anyone is interested in the pageant, then definitely they can reach out to me. And as far as a question for the two of you, I want to say I'm very first proud of both of you for being steadfast with this program and being diverse and taking your time to interview not only me, but the variety of speakers you've had in the past. So I've been following you on Facebook, and you and your team does a really good job. So hats off to the two of you. So my question to you is, where do you see this going in a year, 2 years?
Well, let
Um,
Devontae go first.
are you sure about that, Derek?
Yes, I'm very
Okay.
sure.
Okay. Well, I'll go ahead and say this. Number one, I expect for us to expand. When it comes to getting more people, to want to expand their brands and to advertise our brands through us, I expect for us to have different businesses and especially local businesses to contact us about different ventures. I even expect for, uh, on a personal note, for each of our personal endeavors outside of this to enhance because of our work with this organization. Like for example, Derek makes music, or he wants to seriously make music outside of his career after he graduated from college, and with our organization, that has helped him in a way. Or for Vanessa, which she's not here yet, but she's expressed interest in the dance arts and anything concerning dance and music, and this has helped her uh, get in contact with different people in that regard and expand her horizons in education through research. And me, I love writing. I'm a writer. Part of what we do, or part of what I do for the organization, is I post different types of biographical writings, which you've most likely seen because I know Derek's seen
Yeah,
them.
I've seen.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So we hope to expand it in those ways and more. There's so many that I can't. If I started
Right.
going in, I
Yeah.
would. It would be a 2 hour phone call. So
And
Right.
for me, one of the things I hope to have within the next year, I hope to have more content creators uh to join us and to display or give information about things that they're passionate about. Definitely, if anyone, listens to our podcast or, is just passionate about specific topics in general and wants a platform to do so, reach out to us, and I hope to have more people to do so. And I also,
Okay.
within the next, year, the thing that I hope for is to have more interviews with, more diverse groups of people. You know, I want to be able
Okay.
to interview executives, educators, uh, just all sorts of people, from college students
Awesome.
to big names. So,
Well, well, very well. Just know that if there's a way that I could help you to grow, if there's someone that you know I have contact with, or someone on my Facebook page, feel free to reach out. This is by no means a one-way street, so I want to help you as well. So best wishes to you too.
yes,
awesome.
ma'am. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, thank
Thank
you.
you for gracing us with your presence. This has really, and I can see how this is going to open doors for everyone. And ma'am, like I said, keep up with what you're doing because your work with senior women, with elderly women, has left a mark on a few people. Especially, again, I've gotten a lot of feedback from the last interview, and they've said that they love what you do after seeing and doing research on you.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I'm glad it's making a difference to the contestants, to their families, and to the community. It's amazing the positive impact that it has made to so many, even when that wasn't, like the goal. So I appreciate hearing that.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. But if that is it, we would like to close up.
All righty. Well, y'all have a great weekend.
You as well, ma'am.
All
Okay, then.
right.
Bye bye.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye.